All right, the NSU admission test for summer 2026 is just around the corner. And on exam day, the very last thing you want is a surprise. So over the next few minutes, we're going to break down every single step, making sure you walk in feeling prepared, totally confident, and just ready to show them exactly what you've got.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan. First, we'll talk logistics, getting there on time. Then your essential checklist of what to bring and what to leave behind. After that, we'll cover what happens inside the exam room, we'll go through a minute-by-minute schedule breakdown, and finally, the last few rules. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to expect. No guesswork. A great exam day really starts with a smooth, stress-free arrival. So first up, let's nail down your timing and make sure you get there feeling good and ready to go.
Okay, this right here is probably the most important timeline of your entire morning. The gates open at 8 a.m., but they close, and I mean sharp, at 9 a.m. This isn't a suggestion, it's a hard deadline. If you're not inside the gates by then, you're out. So here's a pro tip. Just aim to be on campus by 8:30 a.m. at the latest. That way you avoid any of that last-minute panic. And speaking of panic, the university itself is warning you about traffic. So you've got to plan your travel wisely. Don't let a traffic jam be the one thing that messes up your big day. Seriously, look into public transportation, maybe carpool with a friend. Just make that journey as smooth as you possibly can. So, you've planned your arrival. Awesome. Now, what's in your bag? This is your essential checklist for what you absolutely need to bring, and, just as important, what you must leave at home.
And this pretty much shows you the two sides of the coin. Your admit card and valid photo ID, those are your golden tickets. No exceptions. Add a black ballpoint pen to that, and you're all set. Now, on the other side, that prohibited list is non-negotiable. No phones, no calculators, no digital watches. Here's a quick tip for you. The night before, put your phone on the other side of your room so you don't instinctively grab it on your way out the door.
You have made it. You're through the gates, you found your room, you're at your desk. Fantastic. Now, let's walk through the procedure inside the exam room to make sure you have a calm, focused start.
Just think of this as your pre-flight checklist, okay? Getting seated 10 minutes early lets you catch your breath and settle your nerves. You'll get your test book and 2 different answer sheets. Now, before you do anything else, scan them for any printing errors. If you see something weird, raise your hand right away. Then, carefully write your 5-digit test pass number on both sheets. A calm start is a strong start.
Now, managing your answer sheets correctly is absolutely key. You'll have 2 of them. One MCQ sheet for the first 3 sections, and a totally separate sheet just for the composition, so you've got to pay attention to which one you're using. Make sure to fill in those little circles completely, and remember, the test book is for your rough work only, not your final answers.
All right, this is the main event. You're settled, you've got your materials, and the clock is about to start ticking. So let's break down the timing section by section so you can build your pacing strategy right now, before you even get there. This table is your roadmap for the entire test. You've got 4 sections, and each one has its own strict time limit. And remember this, you cannot move between sections until the invigilator tells you to. So let's take a look at each one. The test kicks off with a 25-minute sprint, 40 questions on grammar and vocabulary. That's only about 37 seconds per question, so the strategy here is all about speed. If a question stumps you, just mark it and move on. You can always come back if you have some time at the end of the section. Next up, you switch gears completely and head into the marathon section, quantitative aptitude. You get a solid 75 minutes for 50 questions. This is your chance to use all those blank spaces in the test booklet for your rough work. Show your calculations, organize your thoughts, and really use this time wisely. After the math section, it's time for reading comprehension. You'll have 30 minutes for 20 questions. A good tactic here? Skim the questions before you start reading the passage. That way, you know exactly what kind of information you're hunting for. You have to listen for this. At exactly 12:10 p.m., time is going to be called for the first 3 sections. And when they say stop, you have to put your pen down immediately. No finishing a sentence, no filling in one last bubble. This is a hard stop. After a brief pause, you'll begin the final piece of the puzzle, the composition. You've got just 20 minutes to choose one of 2 topics and write over 250 words. My advice? Spend the first 2 to 3 minutes just creating a quick outline. A little bit of planning goes a long way in producing a clear essay when you're under pressure. We are in the home stretch. You've completed the exam, but you're not quite done yet. Let's cover the final rules to make sure you end the day absolutely perfectly. So when that final bell rings at 12:35 p.m., Don't just jump up and bolt for the door. You have to stay seated and quiet while the invigilators collect all the materials. Just wait for their official dismissal before you exit the room. And finally, I want you to remember this message from the university itself. They're rooting for you. All these rules are in place just to create a fair environment where everyone gets an equal shot to succeed. So there you have it. You have the rules, you have the schedule, you know exactly what to expect, you've handled all the logistics. Now, it's just time to go in there and show them what you're made of. Good luck.